Who allowed them access?
Colonel O'Neill did, sir.
Great. Why wasn't I told about this?
Well, I believe a memo was sent, sir. Hello. I'm Dr. Fraser. This is General Hammond. Welcome.
Pleased to meet you.
Now, we understand that Colonel O'Neill has given you permission to view some highly classified information regarding the Stargate.
Look, this isn't normal operating procedure. Usually we'd go through government red tape before you'd even get within 100 miles of the SGC.
With all due respect, sir, I wouldn't worry. I mean, they look harmless. Right this way. Okay, here you go. We'll check back with you a bit later.
Now, this is highly classified material.
Yes, so please be sure not to touch anything. Sir?
I'm James Stitcher, I'm the visual effects producer on Stargate. This is a breakdown of how we do visual effects shots from Dead Man's Switch. We needed to put this spaceship behind the green of the trees on the set. And you'll see here, this is the original plate. But this was a cliff that was about 35 or 40 feet high, and we had to balance this blue screen precariously over the edge of the cliff. This is an element that we then shot on our stage of the interior of the cargo ship. You'll see the orange tracking balls, so we actually track the camera as it lowers down on the set, but then apply that to the model. And you can see here there's a wireframe and then what's called a low-res polygon render, and then our closer final render of the ship. And now this is the shot cut into the sequence. And you'll see if you look closely at the ship, as it rises, you can look in the windows. You'll see the guy looking at us, but more importantly, you'll see the perspective shifting on the inside of the ship. And that's real. Everything around it is CG. So we actually blend the real set in with the CG spaceship. In this shot, we had to create a CG snake that gets snapped in half. So what we did is we hung a prosthetic piece that our alien man could grab, or Unas could grab, and then we had to paint it out. You see in that plate, painting it out. And then this is the CG element. You can see the black part is where the hands go. And then we put it into the shot and timed it all with the grab, so you have something real and something fake. This was a tricky shot. We needed to give the sense of speed, being a fast superhero creatures. Or actually, they're not creatures, there are heroes with superhero powers all of a sudden. That was the background plate for one side of the shot. We actually shot two sides of the plate. We shot two cameras next to each other, did all the action. Then we had stand-ins of our lead characters run through the set and mime where they were hitting the Jaffa guards. Then we had to tile the two plates together because we wanted to do a pan. So what you're seeing there is a clean plate where we painted out all of the various actors and extras and rigging and all of that stuff to create the pan. This is a CG Stargate. And also the puddle element, we always render the puddle elements flat and then actually put them in two-dimensionally to fit the perspective of the shot, and gives us a lot more control. And that's your streak element and a time warp on the actors running from the gate and streaking through the shot. One of the tricks to the streak was using previous frames of the actors and leaving them on the screen long enough so that they really, it feels like that streak is coming from the actors, and that's the final shot. One of the tricks that we need to rely on sometimes is stock footage, and this is a stock footage photograph of Moscow. We couldn't obviously fly to Moscow and shoot some plates of people, so what we did is we took a stock photo, painted out the people that were in the photo, and then added some of our own people. All of these people actually work in the visual effects department. That's Shannon Gurney, one of our coordinators, and an undefined person who I'm not sure who is, and Michelle Cummins, and Ted actually is one of our camera assistants. And they're on green screen, and so what we do is we take them and shrink them down and put them into that stock photograph. And now we have movement in the frame that we didn't have before, and suddenly it's starting to feel like it's coming alive. Add a bit of grain and you actually have what looks like a frame that might have run through a motion picture camera at some point. And then we had a bunch of elements. These were timing explosions, stock footage again of explosions that Bruce Woloshin temped in so that we could sort of get our timing of what happens at what event at what point. And then with a lot of fine-tuning and a lot of CG additions and a big white flash at the end, you have yourself a shot of Moscow blowing up on the economical, we like to say.
This is a full-ground plate we just shot a few days ago from our first episode, Enemies. This shows a practical set that's being built for the engine room of Guauld mothership. We have two plates here. We shot two tiled up, top and bottom. This is going to be a set extension where I virtually extend the set in 3D. And what we'll do is bring this into Photoshop, which I have open now. And what we'll be doing is we'll be timing these so that we can do a virtual camera move. And this is where I can start to manipulate the images and remove the distortion inherent in the tilted up camera angle. And as I go, I can start placing these elements, removing the green. I'm also blocking out roughly in Photoshop some of the other elements I need to create. So we'll have a walkway going off, and there'll be a central area in here.